A lovely good evening to you all. Sincere apologies for that slight breakup. My name is Mutinta Chiseko, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Diamond Newsdesk at 8, where we bring you the latest from stories featured on DiamondTVZambia.com. You can also follow us on Diamond TV online on Facebook and on X at Diamond TV Zambia. Up next, the headlines. Over 400 former Mamba Collieries workers petition Hakainde Hichilema over unpaid benefits. Stone blasting near Zesco Kalundu sub-station damages over 40 houses in Lusaka. And Kabwata fire leaves Unza medical students stranded. Join me for the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. Over 400 former Mamba Collieries workers separated from the company in 2010 have staged a protest demanding full payment of their long overdue benefits. The workers alleged the separation was unfair, with only 17 receiving partial payments to date. They warn that if their grievances remain unresolved, they will block the company gate to disrupt vehicle movements in and out of the district, calling on President Hakainde Hichilema to intervene. Many of the ex-workers, some now deceased, say they would not rest until their dues are paid, blaming the company for plunging them into poverty. KB Kankuli, Executive Secretary of the 2010 ex-miners, accused the company of calculating benefits using an outdated 2005 salary scale, violating Article 182 of the Constitution. He has also alleged failure to remit pension contributions and non-payment of separation packages and allowances. Mamba Energy, the parent company of Mamba Collieries, is yet to respond.
She could not hold back her tears. This is the mother of the ex-workers at Mamba Collieries, also known as Mamba Energy, in Sinazongwe district of Southern Province, who is now late. She is demanding her late son's unpaid benefits. These are some of the over 400 former workers of Mamba Energy, formerly known as Mamba Collieries, who were separated in 2010. They are demanding their unpaid benefits and other claims, threatening to close the gates of the company in protest.
Inova President, twamugomba nitwimvobu amutulange mu malambo tubede ndasamununa masimpe teji kuti nchipale ejipe amugasige mwagusiga oguno mugaulange iguswasuba agubupira igutoguno tupona buti jijirundu kijambeji mchiumayuma aya maresu atabaji umayuma pe amutupe tuligwase jimwijindi jo tufosinga kuti tukajale gate inokati tanali jala gate amutubambe mwami wangu
bahanda kutupa pe bamwenye baba nacha basupa abayekwabo tuliketewa mwe bakwetema libainda balati bakwaya ku running a company ehi.
But where is my money? Up to now, that money is still there at the mine. So I want that money, and that money should be paid accordingly.
We are already divided because of too much suffering. We need a genuine investor here. A genuine investor who is going to look at the plight and the suffering of the people here. So a lot of people, a lot of things have been mentioned, President. As you come here, this is what we are saying. And it will be ready even when you come to substantiate what we are saying here today.
According to Kebi Kankuri, Executive Secretary of 2010 Ex-Miners, the company calculated employees' benefits using an outdated 2005 basic salary structure, allegedly in violation of Article 182 of the Zambian Constitution.
Suffering at times is caused by government negligence. The matter was sued to court. But because the investor we are fighting has got money, bribes are always paid. Exactly.
The former workers have called for government intervention, urging authorities to help resolve the matter. Efforts to get a comment from Mamba Energy, formerly known as Mamba Quarries, were unsuccessful, as the calls to the Chief Executive Officer went unanswered. Helga Chibwe, Diamond News, in Southern Province.
Now, residents of Lusaka's Zesco Kalundu area have called for the closure of Connect Construction Limited, citing repeated damage to property caused by the company's stone blasting activities. The latest incident on Sunday, September 7, 2025, reportedly damaged more than 40 houses and other property. Gertrude Peary, in an interview with Diamond News, says the blast destroyed her roof, Boho tank and Zesco connection line. And community chairman Simata Sindila has demanded that the company be shut down and made to compensate affected households. Meanwhile, Chilanga Member of Parliament Sifo Hilazo says he's yet to confirm the reports.
Roofs riddled with holes, broken windows and cracked houses is what residents of Lusaka's Zesco Kalundu area say they have been subjected to by Connect Construction Limited. The continued stone blasting has sparked calls for the closure of the company, with residents arguing that it has already mined enough stones and is now operating dangerously close to the community. Gertrude Peary, one of the residents whose house is among the most affected, says the current state of her home is worrying, especially with the rainy season soon approaching.
Kugaya dust ponse pano pankala white simunga pankala lolo imwa batuka kambako sibafaka konzerwa bakamba tise chameti funa myala zili kwa mino okukusaidi ndiye kuli myala manje ine nipe mpako nyumba ino yamene muona yonse malatani damage mvula ya bwera kubakonka kulibe vamene bakamba vokonkolo.
Other residents echoed dangers posed by the blasting and called for the necessary compensation to be taken.
Dalolera kubantu kwebati enga tamfi abantu ati basereko amba fyo ku blastafi so mono pwafu mino ku blast last week pasandi lelo ni sande talatino mbati atuchitire fyonse
nikangwa kutini wasiye pa nyumba kuti basobere nikafuna kwenda ku toilet na baita na bana bwera ni mwana paka gate nizakwanisa batitandizire ko semba bana paira mwana semba bana chitabwanji
ba area council batu until now sibaonekela kuno ku Kalundu manje council ngati saoneka nisibati vikapati.
And community leaders say attempts to engage the company have failed, forcing them to call for government intervention.
Land yamebambo konka kuno ni land y'abantu ili pafumila manyumba y'abantu elo bantu bari kuno iyi company inabapeza problem ya manifesting kuno bamwenye sibafuna kuonana nabantu.
Meanwhile, Area Member of Parliament Sifo Glazo expressed ignorance of the matter, and efforts to get a comment from the company proved futile by broadcast time.
No, that hasn't been brought to my attention yet.
Cherish Sibote for Diamond News.
A 12-year-old girl from Lusaka Zingalume compound who went missing on August 16, 2025 has been found and reunited with her family after 3 weeks. The girl has told Diamond News that she was taken by a strange woman without her consent and later placed at a Mothers Without Borders orphanage. She says she underwent a blood test, was enrolled in school and was given the name Tasila Lungu on claims that her resemblance to the name would earn her money. She has further alleged that she was threatened with death if she returned home. While at the said orphanage, the girl says she eventually used a phone to call her father, leading to a reunion. Her mother has confirmed that the orphanage later informed them of her presence, but expressed dissatisfaction with how her release was handled.
In Zingalume compound, a 12-year-old girl who was reportedly missing on 16 August 2025 was found at Mothers Without Borders orphanage on 12 September 2025. However, the girl claims she was picked by a strange woman who took her to the orphanage without her consent.
And then I back in Georgia. And I in Zanga. Wewe bwa vanitenga. Vandani. Vakwamene kuja ku orphanage. Vabonpeka kumtunzi. Orphanage kwa muna. Then nimereka ina pasande 15 hours dipana nipeleka manje ku Mothers Without Borders.
So nakuza utwa ndo chitachani kuja. So nawauza tunaenda kunyumba urubanja nakuza chani kuna fika kuja.
Kuja vananu that was ambongara kuno. Keru parana na tasira rungo. Na bwana waza sinifuna ngara kuno nifuna enda kunyumba babona that ya uzambongara kuno. Babona that madira kasira afuna nipeleka kuchana. Kudita sila rungu kutuwa kamuza tivapeza mfana wake winango.
Mariro ya chaka si?
Yava rungu.
Mira mamina deti.
Phone nzeli pachaja. Na bwana itenga ripene na watumira.
Wezoesa kwa madeze na kutoa tumia.
Wenzokana nikawapasa namba wenzo ipinda mula.
So ijade una boy wana phone.
Nipena watumira.
Bana kupeza kushukamba pa phone. Bakufuza tibwanje.
Abantu that when we show bidi tufuna ulemera kadi mwana. Bawaitenga fama. Wananu that nikavomera kubuya kuno kunyumba badadi wazafa. Olo inenzafa. Wananipeka kwa hospital wanitosa blood. Watutua pime pena na matenda pia nsende vananuza. Phone nzeli pachaja. Na bwana itenga ripene na watumira.
Wezoesa kwa madeze na kutoa tumia. Her mother says she was unhappy with how the orphanage handled the process of collecting her daughter.
15 panja patimuona halipanya kuma 17 ndepa mena namboenda okuso aenda okuso akamana kumana na vantikaro vako orphanage ndeva namutenga vamufunsa tuenda kuti anenda pali mzanga vamami vafuna nikwapula ati iya yosaenda pali mzako tiye nenza kusunga iya nsinifuna ati iya wanampatikiza paka wanamtenga uja mwana wanachita chani wanaenda naye wafika kuja wampeleka kuja ku orphanage uja mwana aza namba ya tate wake aza namba ya mai wake uja mwana pana fika kuja ninamfunza kuti iwe namba ya dadi wako na mai wako iza waisenza utuma ninawapasa mami namba ya dadi wanaipinda mula pali 50 wafakapo 23 wafakapo 26 sedi wafakapo 50. So ine pamela naipinda mula namba ya dadi na wafunsa kambati iwe songa tuze vochita kuno ine ndine nilifunika ukamba kuno kwa metafika ise uja mwana numpatikiza tufa tukite blood test wampeleka na kwa hospital wanavutana na wapushinga vagwa paka wanakaini wakuru paka wanamugwiranizana wamuchita chani blood test vafika tenze na wanchi wake na mbia wake tabwa tenda mawadi kulibe wadi amesi na pite kuitu yeji tabwela futa tikulibe babwa ndipa mina tikuuza tima nyingi nani mochari tinange na mochari sina mpezi tankala kaita making sure mochari kulibe konse taenda kombone onse tezitaja be kukacha check sen nikamba cha be kungola unda atikaina na moto kakapati za mu tizapusana sote zongeda ine ni bwele uko kunyumba nione ngati muzapasa kuti musunge mwana we nipasa kusunga mwana pamenezo mbara mwenzeliko ni wanu mwana on body body 10 ni vanga ni choice yanga lambo inachinja ni shimzambia utu musungira bana by p by force.
We spoke to Mothers Without Borders country director Josephine Daka. We asked about the claims that the girl's resemblance to Tarsila Lungu would be used as a money-making venture.
I don't think that is an accurate representation because this girl, the only people that she interacted with are our social workers. And we know our confidentiality and everything. I don't think anyone could have spoken to her like that.
And also,
it's not true.
Edna Tembo, Damo News.
Zambia must prosper, ZMP President Kelvin Walia Fube says he will be on the ballot in the 2026 general elections under his party. Speaking when he appeared on Costa, Mr. Fube says he's not waiting to be anointed to fully participate in politics. He says his silence in recent months was out of respect for the late former President Edgar Lungu, but his party has already been active on the ground. He has further stated that ZMP is part of the Tonse Alliance and the Council of Leaders, noting that while some members do not aspire for the presidency, ZMP has begun its journey and is determined to contest.
Trying to be culturally respectful to the mortal remains of Lungu. But if you heard the address that I gave to the nation, I said, Mwana twele la koma eva esta, because we have to move on. And this is what we want to do. I was being respectful because I didn't want to be seen to be just pretending. No, you've got to address these issues and head on, if you may. And this is what we've done. We'll be hitting the ground. So those Gen Zs don't mind what the Kwenyus and Kwenyus are, if they can't see it in their pockets, if they can't feel it when they are not, when they can't buy food and they can't pay their school fees or rentals. They're in Tonse Alliance. Okay? We are working within the alliance. But in the alliance, there are various political parties. But at the table, the Council of Leaders, I'll tell you this, some of those leaders don't want to be presidents.
You can watch the full program of Costa after the news at 21:15 hours. Just now, let's take a look at the weather forecast for tonight and take our first break. I'll be back shortly with more news. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now, with just 3 months before the rains, residents of Lusaka's Garden House behind St. Maurice Church are urging the government to urgently repair their dilapidated roads. Community member Julius Mutelo, in an interview with Diamond News, says they do not want a repeat of last year's experience when their main road along the power lines was submerged, cutting off access to schools, health facilities and markets. Another resident, Naomi Nayame, has warned that poor drainage and neglected roads remain a ticking time bomb and has appealed to authorities to prioritize the area. Meanwhile, Kanyama Member of Parliament Monty Chinkuli says he's lobbying relevant ministries to ensure that most roads are worked on before the onset of the rains, with the pylons road upgraded to bituminous standard.
In Lusaka's Garden House area, memories of last season's devastating floods are still fresh. With just 3 months before the rains return, Residents are urging government to repair roads and improve drainage before history repeats itself.
When it comes rain season, it's very bad. Not like the way it is. So last time, I was 2-3 days, but I know road yard to road network check out to Nikoluba and from here, from the tarmac there to the far end of my power line, scaling the way it's supposed to be.
Naomi Nayame says poor drainage and neglected infrastructure remain a serious area of concern for the community.
Rain season, kulaba sana menshi. Ifikuri kwa umateti mukwishibenga time ya rain season ya Afrika. So tulelomba kwa government, sibatulore reseshepo kuno ku garden house. Kulaba menshi ngise ronga kuri filindi so tesu issue atapapali mugodi. So funga fwebe kala kuno so kwa menshi Afrika omwama jombo tayabomba aba taxi na kuma yango barafira okufika kuno mulando wa amenshi. So tulelomba ko government ilole keshepo
la tempo ko shabe unga mwene mai wonela lotia tele niwaipa government ngangani
Kanyama Member of Parliament Monty Chinkoli says he is already engaging relevant ministries to ensure the situation is addressed.
When you talk about garden parking, we're looking at using that which we have, which is CDF. We are working on the Pylon Road. I don't know whether you know where the Pylon Road is. So that one, we are actually putting tar on that road. We are putting tar on that road through the local government. Together with you, we have just combined the CDF, then the local government, where we urge local government to come and put. We are just trying to prepare the road readiness for our bitumen to be spread on the same.
For residents of Garden House, the countdown has begun. They say unless urgent works are carried out, this year's rain season could bring back the same hardship they endured just months ago. Best Jerry, Diamond News.
Now, some farmers in Mansa's Chief Calabar area are urging the speedy purchase and transportation of maize at the Chimfula FRA depot. In an interview with Diamond News, the farmers revealed that their maize has been stranded at the depot for over 2 months, leading to the damage of several bags. They lamented that the prolonged delay has forced them to incur extra costs, replacing rotting bags while also struggling to provide for their families.
Farmers in Chief Calabar's chiefdom of Mansa District, Loplo Province, have expressed concern over delays in the purchase of their maize at the Chimfula Food Reserve Agency FRA depot. The farmers say they have spent months braving the cold and wind while waiting, lamenting what they describe as inertia in the buying process.
So today idishanya ko bari ngati pimina ko bangwa matabata amana pa mayanda futa masaka na ina yale bole twalonga atu ambo kushitayambi kwambo kulonga mfuta so today lomba watu mone ko bwangu.
According to the FRA depot officer, although the maize purchase target has already been met, buying has continued.
The contributing factor to that is just the space. There isn't enough space. There is more maize that need to be bought, but there isn't enough space because we've already filled our slab here, as you can see. We are just looking forward to more dispatches so that we create enough space for our farmers so that we'll be able to buy more from the farmers that already brought their maize here.
The farmers further noted that the contracted transporter has too few trucks to ferry the maize, making the response even slower.
Chilele ngokokola kwa abantu impamulando akweba ati ba transporter abasenda mataba. Tabasenda bwangu tabakwete emyotoka eshingi echo ningamona ko fyeine. Shakweba ati basendela kwa bali kwa Kalaba na pana pena bapela ko yambi. Amwe na mamotoka asenda apa, ema motoka asenda kwa Kalaba.
Chief Calabar, who was awarded the transport contract, acknowledged the challenge and explained the difficulties being faced.
So if in the land if was in last week, Pasata Tabaki and number of natural minimum for. So you only challenge son to go to then not what issue Panta comes from Manakawama. Balelong and after Balelong, Fertilizer and 600 was in numbers 650. Panta comes from Calibuino. So a challenge to go there. A matter 1 week if paper and 2 weeks in his patching for to push a Panta Matrax in Quataying. Then a challenge to go there. About 2 weeks ago, quite far.
The provincial minister has since visited the depot, assuring farmers that the government is working to address the situation and urging them to remain patient.
I'm going to take it up myself. Tomorrow I'll go to the provincial team and then we can find lasting solution. So I would like to urge our farmers that we'll still come back to give you solution. What we are seeing here at this particular depot is what is happening elsewhere. So we are overwhelmed as a province, but at the same time, this is a good story that there's so much maize everywhere, and we have to secure this so that nothing goes to waste.
Meanwhile, another challenge has emerged, with loaders at the depot complaining that they have not been paid by the FRA. The delays have left farmers anxious, fearing that their hard-earned harvest may go to waste if a lasting solution is not found quickly. Mbeka Pambwe, Damo News.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Moving on in the news. Residents of Lusaka's Zanimone West say they continue to suffer water shortages despite being connected to metered taps under the Chazanga Water Trust. Chongo Miselo says even with electricity, access to water remains difficult, with a 20-litre bucket now selling at 2 kwacha and a drum at 50 kwacha from those relying on boreholes. Another resident, Gilbert Piri, has pleaded for urgent government intervention, warning of waterborne diseases, as even community kiosks under the Chazanga Water Trust no longer supply the water. But President Hakainde Hichilema, in his address to Parliament on September 12, 2025, reported progress in clean water provision and sanitation, assuring that government will continue efforts to ensure universal access.
Water is life, and access to clean and safe water remains one of the most important needs for communities. But while President Hakainde Hichilema has highlighted progress in the sector, residents of Lusaka's and Mono West say their reality tells a different story. In his parliamentary address on September 12, 2025, President Hakainde Hichilema said government is proud of strides made in expanding access to water and sanitation.
Around water, it's enough to say that we've sunk over 2,000 boreholes, 491 piped water schemes, 671 boreholes rehabilitated. New ones, rehabilitations as well. Let's not abandon old boreholes. Let's clean them up. It's lower cost to clean them up, reticulate them. Let's utilize the assets we have before we build new ones. Very important. And this is happening across the country. These facilities are benefiting, Madam Speaker, over 687,000 people across the country.
But in Lusaka's and Mono West, the situation is different. Despite being connected to metered tap water, residents say supply has remained erratic.
Kuno area kuno tankala wovutika maningi manzi kulibe bantu bakeya barasegula keya yawo kulibeve vichitika tichoka kuno kutali kwendo tapa manzi kuuka ku maziro
2. We have got a very big problem in this area. Have you seen this care? There is no water here. Even if we have got power, we can have power for more than 5 hours, but there is no water. Where we are getting water? You have to go down there, and we are getting water at 2 kwacha. Each bucket 2 kwacha. Now, if you don't have 2 kwacha, where are you going to get water from?
Kuno kuzanimone westi tavutika manzi. Sikwanisa kutapa manzi olipira every day. Tavutika manzi. Vatianganepo ngani ya manzi eve tavutika.
For them, the presidential pledge of progress can only be meaningful when water begins to flow from their taps. Best Jerry, Diamond News.
Drivers at Bonali roundabout on Great East Road have expressed concern over the lack of road signs and markings, which they say is contributing to accidents. Taxi driver Nicholas Nyirenda said the absence of clear road markings makes navigation difficult. Another driver, John Chalwe, has urged government to install proper signs to guide motorists, while John Chira has appealed for repainting of road lines to reduce accidents. When contacted, the Road Development Agency RDA said the issue is yet to be addressed.
Taxi drivers at Munari roundabout on Great East Road are concerned about missing road lines and signs. They say the lack of proper road markings is causing confusion and contributing to accident. Nicholas Nyirenda, a taxi driver, said there are no white lines at some of the roundabout in Lusaka, making it difficult for a driver to know where to go.
Government ifunika onapo pa ma lines vapenta accident kuseni kuma 7 hours kuita mga kulivalena sindu suzi woyenza umu kwa muntu ni wakudara aziwa kuyenza udabo utuka akapolisi akabwera wakufusa tu wezoenda kuti ati nezoenda ku Cheston why wasipeza huko so na ukala wosokonezeka bafela ninkatile kuti ndiye kusaidi kwanga kwa menoko manjewe since ulipe ntepe wambo mvelera veve vicha but now uzi wati varongo vamene vakamba so vapange malaizi tiziona muchemuche noti baziti.
Another taxi driver, John Charwe, said the government should put up clear signs to guide motorists when entering or exiting the roundabout.
Funikira che afake ma signs yo konkoloka aptati vantu bonse vaziva vato muntu ngata joina ngati ali kuina lane aziva tipo endo choka achokela kwaso ngati ali mauta lane po chokera kuyafunikira kuendo chokera kwa outer lane aziva tinchokera kwaso so kuli ine kusaidi kwanga vilengesa kuti kuseni olo kumazulu congestion ikazipaka kozi muntu ali wonse aziganzira che monga like ningangerero kunachitirawo vipanga che muntu ali wonse monga ni chinsale akuli konse angapitire. So
John Chiro also urged the government to repaint the road lines to guide motorists when entering or exiting the roundabout.
Kalingalinga ajoina muntu angena mu roundabout. Yes, paoneka kuti watraki ni nomo amatenga 2 lane ngatafuna ngena but sama ziva kutapana ngena kuleni ya mzanga oro iyai because koneka chokozi padi black padi bamene viliko paoneka che black kutoka huko ine naona pamene wanabwera ba council bezopanga tumaampu paja twawa ati bauba umoshani huko wapo tiona kuti paja atisembe banamezo pentera paja simbaisha continue kupenta ponse hapa nti mulanda about monse omu because mdala kwamba chazoona pamangala ma accident yose na siana basara bayambana weka mananika ni ma driver uwezoenda kuti ze oro mkayangana iso kutoka ukonse chioneka cheche bana chipanga kulibe na line white yoneka kutoka randa about yose mkayangana kulibe vishtika so please ni njito ya bakanso ni duty yao kuti wayanganepo bapente monse omu muzionekera apa mundu ayimirira stop ifunika yaoneka maonaka stop yaoneka o apa kundeni kwa mzangu amene angena even mukabungana kumbuyo polisi akabwera azata ona line ili hapa wangena bwanji kubwera huko.
The Road Development Agency RDA said they are yet to respond to the issue. Nicholas Njovo, Diamond News.
You're watching the Diamond News Desk at 8. Let's take our last break. Do stay with us. We continue with the news. Now, government has warned individuals against buying land around Kikonge Gold Mine in Mufumbwe district, saying the activity is illegal. Mines and Minerals Development Minister Paul Kabuswe says such attempts will be met with strict enforcement of the law and directed the Mufumbwe Town Council to stop the practice. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Mines has officially handed over 90 artisanal mining licenses and certificates to cooperatives that trained in gold mining at Kikonge.
Barely 3 months ago, the government deployed police officers to provide security at Kikonge Gold Mine in Mufumbwe district to curb illegal mining. The government has, however, expressed growing concerns about some groupings planning to purchase titles for tournaments at Kikonge Gold Mine in Mufumbwe district.
Thing that I've heard that is cooking here, I'll say it on media, that there's somebody trying to get that land where the mine is, and they want to sneak in a title. I have heard those stories. Government is not going to tolerate that. Honorable Member of Parliament, Provincial Minister, please, let's look out for those shenanigans.
The minister has cautioned the local authority not to allow such activities to occur.
Minutes with the council, I don't know whether it's Kasempa Council or Mufumbwe Council. If you are here, that's why I needed a council chairman. We shouldn't allow anybody to do that. They will disturb the whole process that we are doing. All right?
Minister of Northwestern Province, Robert Liefu, says he will engage other security wings to curb the illegal gold mining taking place at Kikonge Gold Mine.
That will not be allowed under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. As I will remain the Provincial Minister for Northwestern Province, that title deed, wherever you are not going to get it. We will block all the ministries.
Honorable Minister, we are aware that these cooperatives are supposed to be meant for cooperatives. These are artisanal licenses for cooperatives. But we know there are those selfish individuals who have gone further, maybe to get also artisanal licenses, to deprive the majority. Those, if we are going to hear them, we are not going to tolerate that. We want everyone to benefit, not selfish individuals. Illegal miners should come and join these cooperatives if they want to mine from there. Otherwise, they are just going to destabilize every process and things are not going to be well.
Meanwhile, government has handed over artisanal licenses and certificates to 90 cooperatives that went through training for a month.
That we mop up all the gold. So if you hear that there's no money or whatever, it's not true. This money will be made available, that this gold will be all bought. Okay.
They have also handed over 200 offer letters to new cooperatives that will undergo training before they engage into mining. Dante Walia, Diamond News, Mufumbwe, Northwestern Province.
Now, the Livingstone Subordinate Court has jailed 2 men for unlawful possession of elephant products, water monitor lizard meat, and a firearm with ammunition. Godfrey Kachenjela, 32, and Agri Simwamba, 45, were arrested on August 18 by officers from the Department of National Parks and Wildlife. They were found with nearly 6 kilograms of dried elephant meat, over 70 kilograms of raw ivory, elephant tail hair, lizard meat, a hunting rifle, and live ammunition. The duo pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 5 years imprisonment with hard labor for illegal possession of protected animals and trophies, plus 2 years for unlawful possession of a firearm.
On 18th August 2025, officers from the Livingstone Investigations and Intelligence Unit of the Department of National Parks and Wildlife arrested two men, Godfrey Kachenjela, 32, and Agre Simwamba, 45. The duo was found in possession of 5.9 kg of dried elephant meat, 6 uncut pieces of ivory weighing 72.7 kg, 2 bundles of elephant tail hair, 3 kg of monitor lizard meat, 4 live rounds of ammunition, and a 458 hunting rifle. They were charged with 3 counts of illegal possession of protected animals or trophies under Section 131 of the Zambia Wildlife Act No. 14 of 2015, 1 count of unlawful possession of a prescribed trophy under Section 132 of the same Act, and 2 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition under Section 10 of the Firearms Act Chapter 110 of the Laws of Zambia. On September 4th, 2025, they appeared before Honorable Ngonga, the Livingstone Subordinate Court, where they pleaded guilty to all charges. They were convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment with hard labor for unlawful possession of elephant products and water monitor lizard meat, and a further 2 years for unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition. The sentences will run concurrently. Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism has urged community members, children mainly, to refrain from provoking elephants when they wander in their communities to avoid fatalities. So far, 2 people have been killed by elephants during chase. Gabriel Josias Mova, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
And finally, Mazabuka District Health Promotion Officer Inambao Sitali says collaboration between the Ministry of Health and Hope Worldwide Foundation has led to a significant reduction in vaccine-preventable diseases. He has noted that previous outbreaks of measles and polios have subsided due to sustained awareness campaigns and increased vaccination uptake. The Ministry of Health has intensified sensitization efforts across the district following reports that many children under 5 were lagging behind on vaccinations. And Nakambala market traders thank the Ministry of Health, Hope Worldwide Foundation, and Ministry of Education for ensuring that campaigns continue to protect communities.
The Ministry of Health, we are seeing reduction in vaccine-preventable diseases in the district recorded. The indicator that we may wish to not use for what I'm saying is previously we would have suspected polio cases recorded in the facilities, and so get samples and take the biology now. But right now, trust me, there's a less of that happening because there's intensified disease surveillance because people have known.
The Ministry of Education representative was also part of the campaign at Nakambala, supporting community engagement on the importance of child immunization.
We're encouraging healthy learners, as well as the children from 9 to 15 years. We're encouraging those children to get vaccinated for HPV, cancer. So it's a brave move. We appreciate this move where we're sensitizing the community and we ensure we deliver the message to ensure that we have healthy learners in school.
Hope Worldwide Foundation has over the past few months worked closely with the Ministry of Health to intensify sensitization after noticing a drop in vaccination rates among under 5.
Why, as Hope Worldwide, partnering with the Ministry of Health, have decided to plan to explain this. They will know the importance of immunization and they will ensure that their children are immunized.
Marketeers and Nakambala have expressed appreciation for the program, praising the government efforts in raising awareness.
Point yenatenga ambiri kumwa chitikachi kapeza kati mwana achitabwanji bamuna ndiye siwa naende ku hospital bamai bake bachoka ku hospital bababuza kuti mwana oyo afunga kupya vaso
uno kusense muna ndime mbunda kuhwa ndakukulwa yawamba uti bulene tekutala lubwazo bakamba uti tuyanda uti bana besu bakwabiriwe
obaja ndipotera ikutusanganya antomwe ibamarukana abamaga intu kuti babikire mano kukwamba kuti mwana werere kutorwa kujipimo.
Helga Chibwe, Diamond News, Mazabuka District in Southern Province.
And that health note brings us to the end of tonight's edition of the Diamond News Desk at 8. Before we go away, here's a recap of our top stories. Over 400 former Mamba collieries workers petition Hakainde Hichilema over unpaid benefits. Stone blasting near Zesco Kalundu substation damages over 40 houses in Lusaka. And Kabwata fire leaves Unza medical students stranded. Well, that's it for now from the Diamond News Desk. This has been Mutinta Chiseko. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.